a quiet, chilly forest in the Himalayan foothills of Jammu and Kashmir. For the nomadic Bakarwal community, it was home. For an 8-year-old girl named Asifa Bano, it was where she grazed her family's ponies. But on a day in January 2018, this peaceful backdrop was shattered. Asifa vanished. Her disappearance wasn't just a tragedy. It was the beginning of a nightmare that would expose deep communal fissures in the heart of the world's largest democracy. This is the story of Asifa Bano and the justice that was hard-won against a tide of bigotry. To understand the crime, we must first understand the victim and her community. Asifa belonged to the Bakarwal, a Muslim nomadic tribe of shepherds and herders who migrate seasonally across the Jammu region. For years, tensions had been simmering between the Bakarwal community and local Hindu groups. Primarily over land and grazing rights, these tensions were deeply rooted. On January 10, 2018, Asifa was abducted from near her home in Rasana village, Kathua district. For a week, her family and community searched desperately. Her body thrown naked was eventually discovered in the forest on January 17, 2018. Forensic evidence would later reveal the horrifying truth. The crime was meticulously planned, not just as a sexual assault and murder, but as a deliberate act of communal terror. The motive, as alleged in the police charge sheet, was chillingly unique. The primary conspirator, a retired revenue official and former caretaker of a local temple named Sanji Ram, masterminded the plot. The details that emerged were exceptionally brutal. Asifa was allegedly kidnapped and held captive for a week in the temple. She was allegedly drugged with sedatives to keep her unconscious. Repeatedly gang-raped by multiple men over several days, her suffering was unimaginable. Her captors tortured her before the final murder. She was ultimately strangled and hit on the head with a heavy stone to ensure the death. The intention behind leaving her body in the open was to terrorize the Bakarwal community. The aim was to instill fear in the Bakarwal community, that is Muslim shepherd community, so they would permanently abandon the area. The perpetrators were not outsiders. They were part of the local fabric. The accused were mainly locals who used to watch Asifa every day. The 8 accused individuals are: 1. Sanji Ram, the alleged mastermind, a retired government officer and the custodian of the temple where the crime occurred. 2. Deepak Kajuria, a police constable. 3. Parvesh Kumar, a civilian. 4. Vishal Jangatra, Sanji Ram's son, a university student in Merit. 5. Juvenile, ex-friend of Vishal, who was a minor at the time and said to have been the most brutal. 6. Tilak Raj, a police head constable. 7. Anand Dutta, a sub-inspector. 8. Surinder Varma, a police officer. Sanji Ram's son, a juvenile nephew, and critically, 2 special police officers, SPOs, and 2 police constables, who were instrumental in carrying out the crime and later attempting to destroy evidence. The charge sheet stated Asifa was held captive in the village's temple premises for days. She was allegedly drugged, repeatedly assaulted, and then brutally murdered. What followed was a shocking attempt to obstruct justice. When the crime branch of the Jammu and Kashmir police prepared to file its charge sheet in April 2018, they were met with aggressive opposition. A large group of local lawyers, supported by members of the extremist group Hindu Ekta Manch, and even 2 sitting ministers from the ruling political party at the time, surrounded the court. They actively prevented the police from accessing the magistrate, chanting slogans and demanding the release of the accused, claiming they were framed. As the accused were Hindu and the victim was Muslim, the case took on a sharp communal color. Some Hindu groups in Jammu came out in support of the accused, holding rallies and raising the Indian flag at the courthouse in a show of solidarity, claiming the accused were being framed. In a shocking incident, lawyers at the Kathua district court physically prevented police officers from filing the charge sheet, reflecting the deep divisions and attempts to obstruct justice. The brutality of the crime, combined with the victim's age and the communal defense of the accused, led to massive nationwide protests. Citizens, activists, and politicians across the political spectrum demanded swift justice. The hashtag Justice for Our Child and Justice for Asifa trended for weeks. This extraordinary political and communal intervention turned the case into a national crisis. The image of lawyers, officers of the court, blocking the path to justice for an 8-year-old girl, simply based on religious and communal bias, sparked widespread outrage across India and the world. Activist lawyers, including Deepika Singh Rajawat, stepped up to represent the victim's family, facing threats and ostracization for their courage. Given the sensitivity and the failure of the local justice system to function normally, The Supreme Court of India transferred the trial from Kathua to Pathankot in Punjab to ensure a fair trial. With the local environment poisoned by political and communal pressure, the victim's family had no hope for a fair trial in Kathua. The Supreme Court of India intervened, shifting the trial's location from Jammu and Kashmir to the neighboring state of Punjab, specifically to Pathankot. The prosecution faced the daunting task of piecing together evidence that had been meticulously destroyed. The trial moved forward under the framework of the Ranbir Penal Code and the POCSO Act, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. The prosecution faced the immense task of piecing together evidence that the accused had tried to meticulously destroy. After over a year of intense legal proceedings, the verdict was delivered on June 10, 2019. The court found 6 of the 7 adult accused guilty. The juvenile's case remained separate. The media played a crucial role, amplifying the voices of the marginalized and shedding light on the case. Asifa's story became a symbol of the fight against injustice, inspiring many to stand up. The main conspirators, Sanjay Ram, along with Deepak Kajuria, one of the police officers, and Purvesh Kumar, were convicted of murder, conspiracy, and gang rape, and were sentenced to life imprisonment, which equates to 25 years. 3 other men, Tilak Raj, Anand Dutta, and Surinder Verma, 2 of them police constables, were convicted for destroying evidence and sentenced to 5 years in jail. The brutality of the crime ignited outrage across India as people demanded justice for Asifa. The verdict was a victory for the rule of law, achieved despite overwhelming political and social resistance. The case of Asifa Bano is a chilling landmark in India's legal and social history. It achieved justice, but at immense cost. It highlighted how communal hatred can be weaponized into the most heinous crimes against the most vulnerable. It also showed the systemic rot, the alleged complicity of police, and the outright obstruction of justice by a section of the legal and political community. The national outcry spurred a legal response, with the Indian government amending the POCSO Act to mandate the death penalty for the rape of girls under the age of 12. More than a story of crime, the Asifa Bano case is a painful reminder that the fight for justice is often a fight against prejudice, systemic failure, and the very elements sworn to uphold the law. The case was one of the catalysts that led the Indian government to introduce an ordinance to amend the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences, POCSO Act, introducing the death penalty for the rape of a child below 12 years of age. The Kathua case, along with another high-profile rape case in Unnao that year, became a symbol of extreme violence against women and children and the dangerous politicization of such crimes in India. The case continues to be a reference point in discussions about communal politics, justice for marginalized communities, and the urgent need for judicial reform in India. The story of the Kathua rape case is a grim narrative of unimaginable brutality, a fight for justice against overwhelming odds, and a sobering reminder of the deep social and political fissures that can surround a crime. Asifa Bano's name remains a potent symbol of resilience and the deep moral challenges facing modern India. Her tragic story forces us to ask, what price is paid when justice is communalized? And how do we, as a society, protect the innocent from such deep-seated hatred? We remember Asifa Bano not just as a victim, but as a catalyst for a national conversation about protecting children, challenging bigotry, and upholding the integrity of the judicial system. If this story moved you, hit the like button and share it to keep the conversation and the fight for ethical, unbiased justice alive. Subscribe to Zuncover for more.